Don Cox. When the Bureau of Land Management came into existence, and they made an agreement with the state of Nevada to manage our land, not to steal it from us, but to manage, they have broke every agreement they have made. And I've got to agree with Donna. Not because she's my wife, but what she said made a lot more sense. Just like this lady here just said. They're going to lie to us. They've been doing it. They're taking our land, and they don't care. When it comes down to it, you're not going to have what they say you're going to get. None of it's going to be true. The Bureau of Land Management needs to be run out of Nye County. Then this county should get together with the other counties and run them out of the state. Get rid of them. This court process is going to be nothing but a joke when it comes to the end. I don't care what they say. The Bureau of Land Management is nothing but a bunch of bullies and a bunch of liars. Mr. Bundy's in the audience today. He saw what happened to him, and they're going to go back after him because they lie. They're thieves. They're crooks. Anybody who works with BLM, as far as I'm concerned, is the lowest form of life on this planet, to run somebody off something that they own. This has got to stop here, and if Nye County don't put their own gun in front of them and go after the Bureau of Land Management, tell them to stay out of our state, and Dan was right, but we don't need to wait till the last minute to do it. Meet them at the county line. We all pack, we all carry. We got a big force here, a big, big force. And I think we need to use it. They need to go. Nye County needs to take this forefront and do it and tell them to stay out of our county and then go after the other counties to do the same thing. The state needs to take our land back. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the record, my name is Ryan Bundy. That's R-Y-A-N-B-U-N-D-Y. Where you have the authority, you have the constitutional right to control this land. Commissioner Cox has it right. And any who does not agree with her or agree with her stance that you own the land is misunderstood. I think that, a few in here, Mr. Darrell Lacey for one, Lorinda, Santa County Commissioner for one, and Mr. Chairman yourself has stated things that are very incorrect. And I think that if you continue in those directions, that your job should be in jeopardy. Mr. Lacey here is only a staff member. I think that he needs to be fired. Government does not have authority or power in and of itself. Government gets its power in the United States from the people. This is a government for the people and by the people. The United States government does not have authority in and of itself. It only has what we, the people, have given it to through the Constitution of the United States. So you find in here, please, where they have the authority to own land within an admitted state of the Union. There is a place. You show me here where they have any authority at all over the control of water. There is none. The only place that they can own land within an admitted state of the Union, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. You've probably all heard it 1,000 times. Okay, so why are we monkeying with them? Okay, we've heard over and over again here encouraging people to call this Tim guy, BLM guy, get our comments in. BS. That is a waste of time. Not one person should call him. Not one person should turn in a comment. The county should not even turn in a comment. You are wasting your time. You've admitted already that you have put in a lot of time and a lot of money into this thing. It's all wasted, every last bit of it. Okay, we talk about obeying the laws, FLIPMA. That doesn't pertain here because it's not federally owned land.
Bill Carnes, C-A-R-N-S. On the wall over here we have 5 pages which make up the U.S. Constitution. And it's interesting that a lot of people in this room, whether elected or appointed or hired, have sworn an oath to this and haven't read those 5 simple pages. I encourage you to take some sort of a poll within your organization within the county, and as well as those with the BLM when you meet with them, and give them time to read all of this. You can find it in an easier printed format online if you like. It's not so scrolled. And in there, it does say precisely what the federal government lands are allowed to be owned. We certainly have NRS 321.596 with the legislative findings that really detail a lot of this. Your FLITMA and ACMA, or whatever the ridiculous acronyms are, the interesting thing is you have bound yourself to following those. We have not. And Nye County is the home of the epicenter of the original Sagebrush Rebellion. And I fear that the BLM has already decided they're going to go with option 3 that they have out here, which is by far the most restrictive. That's nearly a foregone conclusion. And the fear from that is that the federal government has been continuously painting all of us into a corner in this country. And Nevada seems to be an easy target because they already own nearly 87%, control nearly 87% of our land. And 96%, is it, here in Nye County? 97. So it's 1% worse. Thank you, Commissioner. And what I fear is that the option 3 is going to turn into a proverbial entire option 3 open-end shooting range. That's really what this may turn into, and I hope it doesn't. I really don't. We came incredibly close this last April out near the Bundy Ranch. And if you thought that was bad in more liberal Clark County, wait till you see what happens out frigging here. I mean, it's...
Which one of us don't you think will be there with you?
Oh, I'm not saying I'll be there. I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying this is a highly likely event the more that they push and point us into a corner. Because this right here is restrictions on government. It's not approval of government, and there are 17 enumerated authorities. Having an organization to control lands that are otherwise within a state are listed in here. Anything over and above this, regardless, rules and regulations and policies that they might have are not laws. Only elected legislatures can pass laws and then be signed into accordance by the chief executive. The federal level, that's president. In light of that, with the BLM assuming their own authority through the, what are they, the part of Department of Interior, correct? Yeah, for them to decide amongst themselves that every decade or longer they're going to rewrite their own rules and how they control themselves in the Federal Register without literally an act of Congress is really a violation of all of this. So if you want some sort of scientific evidence to put into your comments, I would say read these 5 pages. Now, this is the Cliff Notes. Then read the some 70,000 words or more that are within the Federalist Papers and ask yourself, what would Jefferson do? And if Jefferson would say, absolutely not would we stand for this, then the BLM shouldn't be doing this and we shouldn't be standing for it. You have to realize our forefathers didn't come to this great land so that they could farm new areas. They had plenty of farming where they were. They came here because of an oppressive government. And they came here to form a more perfect union, which we have allowed to go down the toilet. And it's time to put an end to this. It's time to grab the plunger and roto-root this toilet out and get the BLM, which is stopping up the hole, out of the way. Thank you.
And this needs to stop. And just because it's been going on since the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, that the West has been getting the shaft from the Eastern establishment, doesn't mean that it needs to be grandfathered in. It's time to take a stand, and it's time to take a stand today. And I'd like to know what happened last year. You folks took a unanimous vote to kick the BLM out by resolution. How are you moving forward on that? That's what we'd like to know, and that's why we're here today. We're counting on you folks, because you know what? We look at you as public servants. We look at the county commission in Clark County as politicians. And do you know what politics means? Politics means many, and ticks means blood-sucking creatures. So you're our first and only hope. Recently, just this week, we saw Sheriff John D'Agostino in El Dorado County, California. He is standing up and telling the forestry that their gun policy, that they have no more policing powers in his county. It's time for your sheriff to do the same thing here.
Chief Justice John Marshall, they said anything that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void.
And keep your oath to this. This is what's important. Every time you speak to BLM, as Ryan Bundy has stated and Mr. Bundy has stated, you are getting further and further in bed with the devil. Plain and simple. If you act as the shield, the people will back you. If you don't act as a shield and protect the citizens and the lands that belong in your county to you and your citizens, then you will have another Bundy Ranch.
Mr. Ryan Bundy was right. You all have to stop acting like you have submitted. Donna Cox is the only one up there that I see, I'm sorry if this offends you, but that has the balls to stand up. Frank Carbone, you were there at Bundy Ranch with your wife. There were guns in your face. You better stand with her. I expect that of you. You are my commissioner, Butch, and you are a lame duck now. You don't have to run again. So stand up and do the right thing for once. Stand up against this. Say no. It's important. Dan, I think you're a lost cause. I am beyond words for you. You are here to show us that you've done everything and we just have to be good little minions. We're not. They work for us. You work for us. You should be ashamed of yourself signing a non-disclosure to tell them it's okay for them to keep secrets from us. You work for us. You should not be able to keep things from us. How dare you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill Carnes, C-A-R-N-S. Based on some of the comments that Commissioner Cox just stated, it might be worth it for you to discuss with either the sitting district attorney or the incoming district attorney about the legal authority for this board to potentially pass a resolution which would direct the sheriff to inform the BLM that their enforcement authority has been removed from this county, or merely ask the incoming sheriff-elect to do that on her own once she's seated.
Absolutely. That would be part of it.
Thank you.
That would be part of it. All right.